Hey Gemini. Okay, we got a lot to talk about. And at the end, I'm gonna do a little bit of a response to someone on YouTube. We'll do that later. Let's do this first. Gemini. I'm just gonna tell you what happened with me, because every Gemini I know was like, yup. So, first of all, shout out to all my Bay Area Geminis. You guys are life. Every single one of you that I met has become like, you're awesome. Thank you for existing. Now, what happened to me was very early on, this Mercury, like the Mercury retrograde Mars in Gemini, which is also Mars in my Mars is in my 11th house. This period for me has been one of, like, people are trying it and I'm like, ooh, no, don't do that. No. No. Remember and Get Out? No. That. Please. Ooh, please save yourself. Please don't do that. So, early on in April, someone tried to clown me. Straight up, just tried to clown me. It had never happened to me in my life. Where I was like, did this dude just try to clown me? Yo, what? Like, but instead of, and when I tell you the urge was there to just, excuse my language, but let this motherfucker have it. I was like, no. No. I gotta go. Then later in April, someone basically like kind of used me for something like money wise. It's okay. It didn't really like bother me that much. I'm a very like generous, open-hearted person, but it just like after a while rubbed me the wrong way where I was like, that's a little weird. And earlier versions of myself might have been like, yo, you know what? But like being aware of everything that's going on, being aware and becoming a better person, all of this, has kept me back. And then, even later in the month, somebody just straight up threatened me. And by that point, and like in an email, like written, why would you ever do that? Which that question is going to sound funny when I tell you what I have to tell you later. Why would you ever publicly threaten anybody? So, somebody in an email threatened me. And again, it was like when that dude tried to clown me, I was like, yo, what is going on? Like, has the world, what, like, what made you think that I was the one? What made you think Why did you think that? Weird, because no one ever treats me that way, but all of a sudden, like, in April, everyone's just showing their ass, and I'm like, why? Like, what is going on with everybody else? Why is everybody losing their minds and trying to push me like this? And I know that you guys feel the same way. I know you do. I know that either a partner or a work situation or a sibling or a colleague or, you know, someone who considers themselves your peer, perhaps a bit flattering on their part, but, you know, not really that accurate. Someone is like trying to like steal your shine and dampen your like, and you're like, why are you being shady? Like, why are you coming at me like this? Like, you need to take several seats, right? Of course, that is. And so why? Well, this is why I haven't exploded on anyone, even though many people have deserved it. Like, even when that person threatened me in an email, my response was awesome. Like, even I went back and read it and was like, yes, I'm such a fucking boss. Like, and I didn't even, I don't want to say I didn't know what I was writing, but like when I lose my temper, yeah. And so what I had written back was something like, you know, you get like one shot at that. You had your one chance in life to threaten me. And me just like let it go. And you just did it. Don't do it again. You know what that bitch did? You tell me. Oh! By the way, this is why everybody's mad. If you're wondering why everybody's up your ass and everybody's mad at you, this is why. This is why. Because stuff's going well. That's why. Even the stuff I'm going to talk to you about later, it's because stuff's going well. People have a really hard time watching Geminis do well. Let's talk about it. What's the 10 of Pentacles? Someone said when you hold up the cards, talk about the cards. So when you guys are doing your own readings, okay? I'll go into this more in the book that I'm writing, but more in a psychological way. This is like just basic stuff that you should know. So if you have a deck, you can do this for yourself instead of being on here, you know, listening to people who say dumb shit like spirits talk to them. This is a waveform machine, right? For the quantum, for the hologram. This is like a computer. This is a randomized thing. That's why they randomly fall out. Because they're mirroring the greater holographic pattern. Stop it with all this nonsense. Spirits and all. You know what? Where I come from, the stuff you're saying, spirits and all that, spirits talk to you and all that, that's demonic. If you don't know what, okay, let me just tell you, and then we'll get into this reading. What happened is, no, you know what? No, wait. So, if you're doing, no, we're not going to fuck up our reading for this. But it is going to be a curse-filled reading. So if you don't like when I curse, or if you don't like what, this is Mars and Gemini. Just don't watch this month. I don't know what to tell you. So, if you're here, if you get this, if you're asking about love, if you're asking about finance, if you're asking about things turning around for you, okay, and you get this card, I want you to really pay attention to a few things here. First of all, the animals. You only have pets when you have money, otherwise you can't afford them. The couple. Obviously, they have a great understanding. Right? Look at them. The child, not the center or the focus of the thing, just one more thing that benefits. The elder. Okay? Obviously a place to live. Obviously somewhere super nice. Why am I leaning over trying to look at my own card? I don't know. So, when you get that card, what does it mean? It means that fortune is smiling on you. it means that you're gonna get the things that you want. And the reason that people have such a problem when Geminis get what they want, or if they do well, or if they're popular, or if they're successful, is because when we do well, we floss. We don't know how to be quiet about stuff. Like, if we're successful, we're successful. You know what I mean? Like, I don't see the point in doing really well in my profession if I can't rent like the Volvo SUV of my dreams and run around San Francisco bumping music and smoking joints. If I can't do that, what am I successful for? That's the only reason that I need money, is to get rid of it. That's a Gemini, right? I'm only using this as a tool to have more fun. So when I have more money to have more fun, I'm going to feel better. The better I feel, the better I'm going to do. The better I'm going to do, and the more I'm here, the more y'all trying to, like, what? In Urdu they say, kisi ke raaste mein patthar phenkne. Like, to throw stones in somebody's path. For nothing. For nothing. So if people are trying you, if people are trying to play you, if people are trying to clown you, okay? This is why. Because when people see this, because see, again, these people are kind of flossing, right? That's why I said notice the animals. These people are doing mad well, right? I'm sorry, I turn into like my 10-year-old raised in a Dominican neighborhood self when I get angry. So, 10 of Pentacles. Yeah, well, I could have told you that just based astrologically on what's going on, right? Like, we're just in a good period. Yes, emotionally, was this past like season of retrogrades really, really hard? Sure, because we are a really sensitive sign. Because when retrogrades affect us and take us back to those places like the Venus retrograde, it really hurts us when we have to re-experience something in the present day which mirrors something in our past, and we thought we were over it. We thought we were better than that. We thought we, grew past that. Like, in a lot of ways, most of my life, whenever I go through a Mercury retrograde, I find myself feeling like, like Al Pacino in Godfather 3, when he's like, every time I think I'm out, they pull me back in. Like, there's so many parts of me that thought I was done with being a certain type of aggressive, and I was like just not that person anymore. And if these retrogrades have taught me anything, it's taught me that that is absolutely not the case. That as soon as I sense that my back is up against the wall, what comes out of me is something completely primal. Like, beyond, it's the other twin. And that switchover at some point or another happened for you this particular, last month, like we said it was going to, because it needed to, because people are testing you, because people are trying you. And what I've been doing is I've definitely switched over to the other twin, but I'm like, yo, don't pop off. You're better than this. Like, send the sensitive one on vacation. Someone tried to clown her. Someone stole from her. Someone, threatened her. Like, she's done. She needs to recoup. Like, let her do mushrooms on the beach in Negril. You handle this, but don't handle it by setting fire to everything. Okay? So the first time I watched Castaway, listen, I'm still shuffling. There's only 2 cards out. I know you guys never say anything about it, but I'm just saying if you're wondering. So the other card that's out is this, but we also knew that because that's what we're talking about right now. So, the first time I watched Castaway, my husband at the time was like, what would you do? Because, like, I think it was, like, 20 minutes into the movie, I was like, dude, this, like, I would already be off this island. And he was like, really? What would you do? And I said, well, easy. I would just set fire to everything. And he just kind of sat there and looked at me for a minute and was like, you would, wouldn't you? And I was like, yeah. Yeah, I would. I would light the whole fucking thing up. Yeah, I would. Someone would see it. A whole island on fire, someone will see it. And he said, Scorpio. He said, well, actually Sag Scorpio cusp. He said, well, what if nobody came? Then everything on the island would be destroyed. How would you live? And it wasn't even a question in my mind. I just snapped it back at him. I was like, why would you want to live like that? Alone. What? Like, go out in a blaze of glory? I don't know. Right? So that twin who just knows how to set a fire. I've been like, you know, she's like, you gonna let him? Yo, you gonna let him do that? Bitch, you better say something. And I'm like, no. No popping off. We got 2 more cards. Knight of Pentacles. Yes, earth signs. Still around. Relentless, if nothing else. And then 6 of Pentacles. So. Now the tables turn. This, see, in this particular dynamic, okay, you have been, up until now, here we are, Gemini. Yes. And now, the cards show up like this. Why? Because now this person switches places with us. Listen, tables always turn. Right? That's basic Taoism. What's up is going to come down. What recedes will flow again. What is frozen will thaw. What is weak will gain strength, and what is strong will be weakened. At some point or another, that dynamic was going to change. It was just a matter of when you were going to allow it. And you couldn't allow it because your heart was all wrapped up in it, right? But then, natural good luck, good fortune smiles on you. It has nothing to do with your emotional state. It has nothing to do with your love life. It has nothing to do really with anything that you're doing. It just does, right? And if you just put a little bit of energy behind it, you can make so much out of it. Success, money, anything, love. You know, this card, that's what I like about it, is that it encompasses so much. That's what I'm saying. When you get this card in your reading, right? This is not a card of just success. This is a card of someone who uses their success to help their family, to help their friends, to help their animals, to beautify their home. This is someone who makes money to spend money. We make it so we can use it, right? In Suzanne White's super illuminating book that I read at a very young age, and she's absolutely one of my heroes. Oh, that book is so good. It's called The New Astrology by Suzanne White. And what it does is it takes your Eastern and Western sign and combines it, and it gives you a snapshot. You can order readings from her also. Oh, I'm gonna call her and tell her that I'm talking about her. She'll be happy. She's like the dopest ever. She's awesome. But what it does is it gives you a snapshot of your Eastern and Western sign combined, so your Chinese sign and your Western astrology sign. And so according to that, I'm a Gemini snake, which I think I've mentioned before. And one of the things it says for Gemini snakes, which me and Kanye are the same thing, by the way. We were born the same year, just a few days apart. I totally get him. I know he's like losing his mind, but I get him. One of the things it says is that Gemini snakes find the taste of the shekel distasteful. For the feel of the shekel distasteful, the feel of money distasteful. They hang on to it only so long as they have to get something for it, because the idea of acquiring wealth, while interesting in some respects, acquisition of wealth being interesting in some respects, especially if it's tied to purpose. The idea of just accumulating wealth and not doing anything with it is extremely distasteful to us. And so, when natural good fortune smiles on people like that, which it always does, people are always like, oh, Geminis are so lucky. Geminis are always so lucky with money. Well, yes, we're also the least dangerous sign in the zodiac. We're innocent. We're innocent. We're kids. We're not trying to hurt anybody. We're not bad people. We're not bad people. We're a little self-centered, like most kids are. We're possessive. We're a little unfair sometimes, but we're not bad people. We don't kill people. Not really, not at all. We're too sensitive for that. Like in the ratio of like how dangerous the signs are, we're the least dangerous. And so when good fortune smiles on someone like that who's just naturally innocent, has a very innocent relationship with money, of course it happens that way, and it happens over and over again throughout your life. Now, you have had pain, right? But this is brought it's like the kite going back up. My mom always says, she always reminds me that her father, my grandfather, used to always say, God rest his soul, that an eagle or a hawk, whatever bird it is, let's say a crow, no, not a crow, an eagle or a hawk needs the oppositional force of the wind to be able to reach greater heights, or else it would never be able to soar as high as it does. And in a lot of ways, I would say to you, I would propose to you that this was the wind in your sails over the last 3 years. I know it has been in mine. And perhaps that wind didn't always carry you in the right direction, but it is now. And that's what's important. Now, what to be careful of. When the wind starts to carry you back up in the right direction, it's really important not to get lost back in this dynamic and feel that you're here when you're really here. Don't make this mistake because this person is so used to making you feel like you're here. Now, who is this person? I'm starting to get away from this idea of like it's a certain sign because, first of all, the moon signs and the rising signs, like they really, really affect you. I do believe sincerely that the only reason that I have not popped off is because of my Cancer rising, because it's a cardinal sign and because it has a lot of discipline to it. It's because of my Virgo moon that just finds it quite embarrassing to even have to address certain people. It's like, I'm better than that. I'm not even, fuck that person. You know what I mean? Like, so because those things affect you so much, I'm starting to really shy away from this idea of associating certain cards with only certain signs. But I will say it like this. If this card comes up in your reading, okay, let's go with that. If this card comes up in your reading, what does it mean? What it means is that this person is offering you something, but is moving really, really, really slow. They're emotionally immature. They are serious once they get to their destination, but this person is going to take a long time to get where they're going. So if you're asking a relationship-related question and you get this card, it's because that person is not ready, that person is nowhere near ready, and that person is not going to be ready anytime soon. So the way I would interpret it in a personal reading is don't waste your time. Don't waste your time on someone who is absolutely not wasting their time on you. Because here's the thing about this person. This person will waste the fuck out of your time. This is like the fuckboy card. It is. It is. This is a person who plays games with you. It is. Fuck it. It is. It's true. Right? So, how do you then deal with this dynamic? Because this person is always going to try to make you feel like you're here. Even if the world is giving you everything and you're actually here, even if they're taking from you all the time, they'll still make you feel like you should be grateful to them. If that is what is happening to you, don't get sucked into that dynamic. Let your natural good fortune that is making you soar higher be the reason to keep moving instead of getting stuck with this person who is not moving anytime soon. And in the meantime, that's what I was going to say and almost forgot. In the meantime, is doing whatever they want. This is not someone that you commit to. This is not someone who is looking for a commitment anytime soon from you. Don't waste your time. I mean, or do. It's up to you. So, yeah, the hangman almost popped out. And then it was like, nah. Like I said, or don't. It's up to you. So, let's pull a few more cards. And then I'll show you the whole spread. And we'll look at it as one, right? Oh, so, by the way, happy birthday. I'll be 40 at the end of May. May 27th. That's awesome. I'm very excited about it. I'm here in Denmark with my son. He's going to be 10, mashallah, in the beginning of June. We're just born a few days apart. So, big birthdays. We're 30 years and a few days apart. So, big celebrations. It's going to be nice. The weather's already gorgeous in Denmark, which is rare for this time of year. It's still a bit cold this time of year, but it's beautiful. So happy birthday. Lots of spring vibes on Instagram for the next 3 months. Lots of Gemini celebration. And let's talk about it. You know, every sign has the characteristics of the season in which that sign is born. Yes, let's rush quickly away from all this. Amen. I'm with you. I'm all the way with you. So, the reason that Geminis have the youthful quality that they do, the reason that we can be teenagers when we fall in love, the reason that we can be quite hot-headed when we're angry, and the reason we can be petty. It all derives from a youthfulness that is usually associated with mischief. Why? Well, if you look at our ruling planet, look at him. He's just always running around. Like, I can see it in some of my friends and in some of my family members. They feel fatigued by my lifestyle even though they're not living it. Like, I have a cousin who'll be like, Baji, where are you going? And I'm like, oh, I'm on my... Baji means older sister. He'll be like, Baji, where are you going now? And I'm like, oh, I'm on my way to San Francisco. And then he'll text me and be like, Baji, are you in San Francisco? And I'm like, actually, no, now I'm in Europe. And he's like, what? Because he's a Cancer. Like, you know, he's like, just stay somewhere for a little while. So that thing that Mercury does, that Hermes does, is what? It is a bit playful and mischievous, isn't it? It's a bit, you know, it's a bit cheeky. And he is the one who was employed with getting the things done that were a bit, perhaps, too icky for everybody else. The one left to communicate that which perhaps no one else had the guts or the eloquence to say. And I'm sure you can relate to that. I know I've never been in a fight because of myself. Every fight I've ever been in is because someone came and picked a fight with the person standing right next to me. Which is just a circuitous way of picking a fight with you, right? But I think it's because we're pushed to say the things that others can't say or are too afraid to say. And although people won't approach us directly, they're throwing subs at us because they want a reaction. But once they get it, it hurts so bad that they're like, damn, why did I do that? Damn, why did I do... Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Because if somebody like pinches us, we fucking knock their teeth out, and we're like, okay, learn it, learn, don't do it again. You know. So that reaction. Now we start to find a way to use it positively. You see, that's what this person is doing. Sorry. That's what this person is doing. This person is using that anger to push themselves away from that which is painful. This is, to me, you know what this looks like to me? Let me show you. You know what this looks like to me? Why is this turned all the way down? Okay. This looks like somebody who is so tired of being put in this situation over and over again that they're like, you know what, if what you want is a confrontation, what you want is for me to actually like go off and let you know what you are, I will do that if it means that I'll once and for all be done with this limbo. Because I'm not doing this anymore. 3 years, we did it. We're done. Right? Geminis have been going through it for 3 years. Yo, down to the day, my dude, down to the day. Today I looked at my Facebook and it was like memories from 3 years ago. And I remembered, it was like when I went to go pick out a wedding dress for somebody. And like I was having so many problems in my relationship. So many. It was like the end. It was yo, 3 years of just and now we're like, you know what? If I gotta be the one to articulate the shit to get us moving and get us either going one way or the other, then that's what I'm about to do. Mars in Gemini, here we are. Check me out. Fuck with it, I dare you. That's what that card is saying. Yo, I dare you. You see, Mars in Gemini, that's what it is. That's why I'm feeling the way I'm feeling. That's why that card is coming. And it's like, it's explaining itself. It's like, no, I'm not just coming out of nowhere and acting like this. Like I told you, things have been happening and happening. And I know you feel the same way. Things have been happening and happening and happening. Like, this is not just some idiot who like tried to clown you. This is all your stupid friends who are throwing subs at you about stuff, even though they know that they shouldn't act that way. This is people who are leaning on you too much, even though they know that you're going through some stuff. This is the people who aren't really listening to you and are just waiting for their turn to talk, right? And they don't hear anything you're saying. This is feeling alone because it seems like everyone around you doesn't like, ugh. And you're at the point where you're like, you know what? Check me out. I don't need this. All this. Keep this. I will take. Bye. Keep it. This is awesome. I'm sure someone's really gonna want this. Go get it. Right? Go do it. Yo, that's my new thing. I dare you. I dare you. You wanna, no. And this applies to, this applies to many situations. This applies to many situations. If somebody is weighing it out and choosing one person over another, if someone is weighing between you and another person and trying to make you feel like, there's some sort of a competition between you and another person, this is exactly the type of energy where I suggest you say to that person, you know what? I want you to go with that other option you got. I dare you. Go do that, son. Please. I want to see it. This is the kind of energy that with game players, you finally get to the point where you're like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm out. This is the, seriously, this is like one of my favorite cards. This is why I turned it into a tank, right? This is one of my favorite cards in the deck because it's like, I'm out. This is a Gemini who's done, fuck it, I'm out. Fine, whatever it was. Like, when I get to the point where I start admitting, like, whatever you're telling me, oh, you're fucked up like this, like, you're right, cool. If I agree with you, if I won't fight with you, we're done. We're done. Because I'm already gone. I'm not even listening. Yo, say whatever you want. Yeah, you're right. No, you're like this. You're like, yeah, you're right. You're so right. I can't believe I didn't see it all this time. Thank you for opening my eyes. So, you know, we're not going to have time to overthink it this month. Do you understand? We have a Cardinal Cross going on astrologically. We're not going to have time. What's a Cardinal Cross? Let me tell you. Come back. Here. What's a Cardinal Cross? Love, money, creativity. We don't need anything right now. We just need to work. We need to work. We need to focus. We need to work. We have so much to do. And I feel like there's so many people who are just watching us just to like see us fall. You know what I mean? Just because we get so happy when we do well, and it just irritates miserable people. Like, I feel like miserable people are always the ones who are like, I don't like Geminis. And I'm always like, you're miserable. You know, like in my head, I'm like, bitch, because you're fucking miserable. Like, we love to have a good time. We love to have fun. We love to do well. We love to bring happiness to other people. You know, we're not just out here for ourselves trying to like just floss on everybody like, hey, look at me. Hey, no, we want to have fun with you. We want to hang out with you. We want to share with you, you know. So when you throw rocks in our path and don't wish us well when we're doing well, or if you're throwing subs at us because you're kind of, you know, like hella jealous on the low, you know, on the low, I think that we just get to a point where we stop caring. And I think that people get so used to seeing that nice twin who cares so much that when they see the one who doesn't care at all, they're like, no, this isn't possible. No, nobody is possible of being two different people like that. Yes, they are. Yes, they are. Yes, they are. We talk about it all the time in the Gemini readings. The switch. And you know what? I'm beginning to think there's like half switches and stuff. Like certain things will just play with that switch for a minute. And you're like, oh. And then other things just go bam. And so you're just at the point with a lot of stuff now where you're like, bam. You like that sound effect? That's why I did it again. Right? You're getting to the point. And you know what? Good for you. Because like I said, you do have a Cardinal Cross coming up. And that means that you will have access to all this cardinal energy. And you need to use it. You need to do something with it. You can't do anything with it if you're sitting and thinking, if you can't, okay, this person, perfect. Now, if you get this in your reading, what does that mean? This person can't do anything. This person is tied. This person is stationary. This person cannot move around. And why? Because of her thoughts. Because her thoughts are her prison. She can't see what's really going on. You can't get stuck there this month. What the cards are saying is, you know what? I'd rather you be this than stay here. And I feel it, because if I'm not going to be like this, I am going to be here. I have been here. This thing happened. Okay, just deal with it. That thing. Okay, don't say anything. That thing. Okay, don't say anything. Do it. May is your month. You can't go wrong anyway. Do it. Do things. Personally, I love confronting people. Whenever someone tells me they're afraid of confrontation, I'm like, really? I wish I could like open a business where I confront you, people for you. I would love to do that. Is that law? Most of my family's law. I'm just joking. So this month, confrontation, you're just like, no, if you want to, we can. You want to? And that's good because the Cardinal Cross will support you. The Cardinal energies will support you. You're just not going to tolerate this anymore. There's been a lot of like tolerating of just bullshit. You know, just like, what am I putting up with? And for what? Like, I'm dope. What am I doing right now? That like feeling that you're feeling, that. You're just like, forget it. Here. Like, I've legit thrown something in someone's face once. Because I was like, forget it. Like, just. And then I said to them, you're lucky I threw that in your face instead of punching you in the face. You should be happy. You should be grateful. You should thank me for that. Mars and Gemini. Listen, this is just how it's going to be. So, the only thing that you cannot do, I'm just looking for an outcome card now because nothing else obviously is coming out. The only thing that you cannot do this month is this. What is this? If this comes up for you in your reading, you are overthinking. You are overthinking. This will come up a lot in your readings if you're a stressed out Gemini. You're overthinking. Don't think, just act on it. Do the Jason Bourne. That's what I always tell people. They're like, you're always traveling. You're always going here and there. How do you pick where you're going to go? Jason Bourne. Ever notice what Jason Bourne does? He just goes and sits somewhere. He sees something and he's like, Madrid. Gets up and leaves. Prague. Gets up and leaves. Like, he doesn't weigh things out. He works on an instinctual level, right? That's what that movie's about, is that they break down their frontal brain so they can have access to their back brain and they can train them in that subconscious part of them where they don't have conscious control over what they're doing. So it's all in their autonomic system, right? So it works in this instinctual way, which I just find dope. I feel like I would like to emulate Jason Bourne. Yeah, I know how weird that sounds. But what Jason Bourne doesn't do is this. He does this. This is what we're doing, okay? We're doing this. We're doing this. Because we've been here too long and the world wants to give us something, okay? So, outcome card. The only thing we have to do is not overthink. If we need to confront people, we should confront people. If they need, but how and the appropriateness of using Mars and Gemini to confront people. I'm going to show you how in just a second. So. Outcome card. Gemini, May 2017. Outcome birthday card. Outcome birthday card. Oi! Many. Hey! Look at that! It was like, bitch, I'm going to give you an outcome birthday reading. Okay, let's look again now. Okay. So. All right. Let me just take a look because there's obviously, like, I think it's, I'd rather read them like this. Because this is like one message, right? All right, check it out. First of all, they're all major arcana, right? You see that, right? Okay. Bottom of the deck, Mars and Gemini. Just keep that in mind. Also, Temperance, the Lovers, the Moon, Hierophant. So first of all, let's talk about what the major arcana are. They are the signposts that are letting you know where along the hero's journey you have reached. So you're going from kind of the end to towards the beginning, to towards almost the very end, to towards the beginning again. And this is Mercury and Mars.
This is the push and the pull. This is the balancing and weighing stuff out and finding that happy place between love and the things that we really truly desire that we perhaps hide, and the things that we would like to do just to be like everyone else. This is also a card of marriage. Obviously a card of love, but also how beautiful in the Gemini birthday reading to get the Gemini card. The duality of this reading is not lost on me. I don't know where that cut out, but it's the first time I'm ever gonna edit a video. But it's because I don't know what happened right then, just in the middle there. So in one reading, there's this one card at the beginning saying have hope and have faith because this is coming, but the rest of it was like pretty bleak, right? Until you work yourself out of it. And when you work yourself out of it, what you come into is that greater self, and that greater self is on this beautiful journey towards, you know, some real stability in terms of love. I think finding that balance, that temperance between what you love and what you hide, what you crave and what you need, what you really want and what you really hate. It's a time of celebrating this beautiful duality of everything that you are and all the joy that you bring and the light that you shine on different areas of people's lives. And I think that this is also referring to the full moon in Scorpio this month, which will be so good for us in particular, you know, because we are right in feeling this way, right? We're not wrong. We're not wrong in feeling the way we feel right now. We have been wronged. We have been clowned. We have been treated unfairly, poorly. And now when we have the courage to say, you know, I feel like I'm more valuable than that. I feel like there's more value to me and what I bring to the table than that. Then, right? Then this comes. Then these outcome cards then the universe says, okay, you know, if you really feel like you're worthy and ready for something more than this tired, pedantic dynamic here. Just balance between your heart and mind. That's the Temperance card, right? Balance between the male and female within you and between the two twins. That's the Gemini. Balance between your love and your vices, your secrets, okay? The good twin, the bad twin, quote unquote. The protective twin and the vulnerable twin is the way I like to look at it. And then the balance between what is hidden and what is revealed and shown very publicly. Okay? Will this cause a certain amount of discord? Will this cause a certain amount of vacillation within you? Sure. But what it's leading to, what it's facilitating, and what you know is coming for you this month is this enormous sense of rebirth. You know, our season, the spring season, is a season of rebirth. If the Scorpio is the phoenix rising from the ashes, right? We are the afterglow. We are the glow and beauty that the phoenix leaves behind that grows everything into life again. So we are very important. Okay. Now that I've said all that, let's get to what I was going to talk about at the beginning and then, you know, didn't. So what's been going on is that a couple of people have reached out to me and said, you know, there's some like chick on YouTube and she's saying that people are stealing her stuff or whatever. And I think like the first time someone sent that to me, I was like, okay, well that person sounds like a fucking clown, so I'm not going to worry about that. Or like, what does that have to do with me? Like, please don't send me stuff like this. Like, I don't care. Okay. And then a person, like a young girl who's actually on YouTube doing tarot, reached out to me and she was afraid. She was afraid that
she was going to get in trouble. And I was like, for what? Like, what do you even, like, what are you freaking out about? Like, I'm so confused right now. Like, what has got you so scared? Like, because I don't scare easy. I don't scare. So, like, for me, I was like, yo, calm down. Like, what's wrong with you? So apparently there's some, like, old lady on YouTube here who's, like, popping off on people for, like, stealing her spirit stuff and telling people all sorts of, like, I'm gonna sue you and I'm gonna do this and I'm gonna do that to people. So you know how I said that this season I've managed to get by without, like, letting anybody have it because I understood, I was cognizant of the astrologically what was going on. That's cool. But now I'm going to do it. So remember I said, like, there's a way to do it properly. There's a way to use Mars and Gemini properly. This is the way. You know, that girl who wrote to me, she was scared. She was scared. She heard, like, courts and lawyers and words like that, and it scared her. And that made me really mad, because I don't like bullies. At all. At all. And I know you're watching because you're obviously fucking stalking everybody who's doing what you think you're doing, but not what you're doing, because nobody's doing what your tired ass is doing. So here's what's really going on. And I wasn't going to say anything because I don't roll like this. I don't, that's Churchill. If you stop to confront every barking dog, you're never going to get down the road. I don't lower myself to this bullshit. But I don't like bullies at all. So, I wasn't going to say anything, but I think what's actually going on here is so interesting culturally, also in terms of YouTube culture, also in terms of bullying culture, also in terms of race, that I'm going to go ahead and say something. There's a certain group of really entitled people in the world. Let's use YouTube as a microcosm, shall we? Great. There's a certain type of person who feels very entitled to things like success, things like subscriber count, things like financial kickback, right? And all that implies views, whatever it is. When those certain people who feel like they are just entitled to have that see someone surpass them in some way, it is very common for that group of people to then point their finger and say, this person is stealing from me. Now, to accuse someone of stealing from you is a pretty big thing. Especially when you're talking about a profession that is dominated 99%, to be sure, by scoundrels, liars, people who say things like, I can tell the future. People who say things like, I'm a psychic. This is a waveform machine like a computer. It will give you options, just like astrology gives you options. It is reading a pattern and saying, you know what? This is a pattern. You have a choice. You want to live this pattern or you want to walk the other way and make a new pattern. This idea, this craziness of I know what's in your future or I know what I'm, or let me just go on with my story because it's about to get hella good. So, I talked to that girl and I'm like, yo, can you please calm down? Like, you're making me nervous just, like, for no reason. Like, I'm not even scared of this bitch. You're just making me nervous because you're nervous. Like, stop. What are you worried about? No, but she said this. I said, okay, I'm going to go look. Like, I don't watch YouTube astrology shit aside from, like I've already, like, commented on Nadia Shah's thing. I think Nadia Shah is dope. Like, I don't hate on people, but I don't watch all this other nonsense on here, and I'll tell you why. As soon as I turned on her little 3-minute diatribe, she's talking about how she's got spirits and the spirits are talking to her and the people are taking the stuff that the spirits are saying and stealing. So not only are you accusing people of stealing from you, but you're also roping them into your demonic shit. What kind of entitled fuckery is this? What? What? Who? Bitch, I wouldn't watch your shit just based on aesthetics. What are you talking about? When was the last time you got your hair done by someone in the 21st century? Look at how you look. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? You're scaring young girls out here. Like, we the same age, grandma, so I call you that. Right? You can't be nothing but 10 years older than me. Looking like you 90 out here throwing subs at young kids, just trying to make a dime. What's wrong with you? Oh, I'm going to get lawyers. I got an LLC, she says. After she's talking about her demonic spirits, I've got an LLC, she says, and I'll make sure I sue people. You know what? The chicken that plays tic-tac-toe on Wall Street has a fucking LLC. I've been running one since I was 13. I got 5. The way you handle shit, if you think somebody's stealing from you, is you put your hand in your pocket, you go to a lawyer, and you handle your shit. But or you do what I did. You get in contact with YouTube, right? And you say, this person, like there was someone who was just taking my entire channel, duplicated it, and put it out. It happened twice. And I was like, okay, well, here, YouTube, look at this. And they looked at it and they got rid of it. But you out here you might need to, you know what? Go and open another tab and open Urban Dictionary so you can understand what I'm saying to you. Because you need to have several fucking seats. Lawyer, LLC. Okay. So if that's the route you want to go with this, what apparently you think is the wild, wild west, no, it's just the internet. All the same rules apply as in real life. Okay? But if this is the route you want to go, where you just out here vigilante trying to call people out, then at least do it by name. I have no problem calling you out by your name, because I'm not doing shit to you. But you're out here throwing subs at people, acting like that could be applied to anybody. So you're just trying to fuck up the water, right? You're just trying to muddy the pond for everybody. For what? Because you petty? Because you mad? Why you mad? Why you mad? Scaring little girls? For what? If you have a real problem, draft a letter. Like I said, I have 5 LLCs. Pick one. Send it. But see, what I really think is going on, and what I've thought all along, is that you wait to watch my videos. You do. And then you make yours. Because you know. Because you know. Because you knew from the first time you fucking saw me. You know. And so you're trying to do the typical thing that people like you do, which is switch that shit around and try to make it seem like it's your shit. That's cute, but that's not gonna work. No. This is why I said sometimes Gemini is employed to do the mud work that nobody else wants to do because no one else can articulate it. But what you're not gonna do is, with one 3-minute little video, rob me of my 7-figure education and my 20 years of experience doing what I do. Because you're mad. Because people are doing better than you. Because some girl who just opened her channel a few months ago is doing better than you. Why you mad? Why you mad? Go get your hair done. Go fix yourself. Do something with yourself. Instead of pointing fingers at people and trying to make us all look bad. For what? You talking about spirits? And then people come to me and they say, oh, such and such person, I got a reading. They said there was spirits on me. There was demons on me. And then they said, give me money and I'll take them away. And you're like saying in your videos that you're talking to spirit. I know you're going to keep my name out of your mouth, right? Because you're psychic, right? Because you're psychic, right? Cool. Cool. That's awesome. Because if any of that implied bullshit was actually about me, then one thing is for absolutely sure. You're not a fucking psychic. Because you wouldn't make that mistake. Stay in your fucking lane. I'm not going to tell you again. All right. So that's Mars in Gemini. That's when someone needs to be put in their fucking place. So, happy birthday. I'll be in Denmark for the next 3 months. I'm doing Skype and FaceTime and phone readings. I'll leave my info below. The easiest way to reach me is Instagram. The easiest way to keep track of where in the world I am is Snapchat. I apologize if that outburst at the end was too much. That's why I saved it for the end. I will put a disclaimer in the info box that you can just skip the end if you're not into it. But I think it's really important because, like I said, although I wasn't afraid, I was nervous because that chick made me nervous. She just made me nervous with her energy. I was like, bitch, I'm from Harlem. What the fuck are you talking about? Shut the fuck up. Sit down. Sit the fuck down. Just fucking insane. But it's important, not for me, but for everybody on here to not feel like some woman who just feels entitled to some success that she obviously can't earn can just start like lowballing people. You know, like, I don't know what the fuck's been going on YouTube in the past. That shit isn't happening here. Not with me around. No. So, if you have a problem with any of that, or you need to get at me, stop doing this petty, stupid shit. Like I said, go to a fucking lawyer, draft some shit, send it to me. I'll slap you back with something so hard you won't know what the fuck hit you. Like I said, most of my family are lawyers. I would love it. I would love it. Do me a favor, okay? Meditate a little, pray. Eat stuff with ice in it. Cool stuff. Try not to use that stamina in a bad way, okay? As soon as Mars moves into that second house, money. Money, money, money. It will be awesome. It will be good. People will test you. People will be jealous. People will try to dull your shine. People will say that you took from them. Use what I just did as an example. Hold off where you can, but when it crosses that line, like in Hindi you say, mere maan ke maryada ke paar chali gayi ye cheez. Like, you have crossed the line of my being, right? Of the integrity of my being. Now you've gone too far. It's just a very poetic way of saying, now you've gone too far. When you get to that point, it is incumbent on you as a Gemini to speak up and to say whatever it is, because that's what we're here for. Okay? I love you so much. It's crazy. My son is a Gemini too. He's going to be 10. I love you guys so much. I love us. We're dope. We're doing this. We're going to be fine.